The dream of escaping the 9 to 5. The dream of financial freedom is the very essence of why people work, in a hope of a day where they retire, where they don't have to think about money, where they don't have to think about their boss, and never need to wake up early and show up to work. Everyone wants to become rich. Everyone almost have the same dream. They want the house, they want the car. Everybody wants the things that the money can afford, including the opulence they imagine, that will invigorate and excite them. Because that is what we have all been conditioned to crave. We need the money for the lack of purpose or love. We need the money for the social status and to add worth to our worthless life. Money is the one string which ties every society together, is the constant which ensures we remain the same in the most crucial of ways. We have a continual striving for more to buy more things we don't even need to impress people we don't even like. Even if we won't admit it, we'd love to be able to display our wealth. And we work hard to afford the car to get us to work, and the brand we purchase is indicative of our social standing. It is what defines us in the eyes of our colleagues and displays what we think of ourselves. It's an ego boost and gives us something to brag about. The brand of our car gives us position in the social hierarchy, and we work to pay for the petrol to fuel the car, to get us to work, to earn the money to purchase the food that gives us energy to enable us to work effectively, to earn the money to pay for the things that we want. Money and work are cyclical. The only point at which we deviate from it is to spend the money on acquiring the things we want. But how do we break the cycle and become rich? In our modern time where everything seems deceiving and everything is fast and automated, more and more people are going to be replaced by technology in every work sector and end up unemployed sooner than you realize, more than what's happening already. In every money-making scheme, there is a shark, a guru ready to hunt you down, ready to show you his right method. He might tell you, I used to work this and that, but now I'm flying across the world making money online. Then he will sell you his course and shows you his money-making scheme. You seem to believe his idealistic way and like his minimalistic around the world lifestyle with his fake consciousness and vibes. And you listen to his advice and still lose the money you invested. Then you look up for your rich neighbor and ask him a couple of questions. And he has an unlogical way of making money, but he seems to know what he's doing. Now you're scared of investing and think you're gonna lose money again. Now everything is a trap. The mind is locked. But I'm here to help. It's crucial for anyone that thinks that there is no way out of this. It's whether you're tied up to your family or scared to take risks that might destroy other people's lives. Maybe you're in debt, or you have some people in need of you right now. First and foremost, you need to understand the following things. The human mind, fear and greed. Time is your enemy and demand. Active and passive income. How to invest and what are assets and liabilities. The mind. The most important part of the human body is the mind. It's where everything begins and ends. The human mind is a powerful tool, but people should learn how to use it in their advantage by creating good habits. And as Napoleon Hill said, whatever the mind of a man can conceive and believe, it can achieve. And he's right on that. That's why they say, what's your thoughts? Because they become words. And your words becomes actions. And actions becomes habits. And habits becomes your character. And your character suddenly becomes your destiny. First and foremost, you should believe in your ideas, and then believe in yourself, for others to believe in you and start your journey. All great entrepreneurs and great pioneers had only an idea in their head. It never existed before, but they were able to manifest it into their reality because they believed in it. They believed in the idea, and then they believed in themselves. Fear and greed. Acknowledging fear is real. Fear is real. Everyone has it. And everyone has fear of losing money, even the rich. But it's not having the fear that is the problem. It's how you handle your fear. No one likes losing money. But often the dividing line between champions and losers is how they handle failure. And it does happen, of course. Similarly, the primary difference between a rich person and a poor person is how they manage their fear. You will meet rich people who lost money sometimes in their life. But it's hard to meet poor people who even lost a dime. Poor people fear losing money. Rather than facing their fear of poverty or criticism, they ignore it and do nothing about it. They simply avoid the issue, refusing to discuss it or to deal with it. Playing it safe helps them not to lose money, but also help them to avoid criticism. Rich people, on the other hand, has to acknowledge their fears and then overcome it by understanding and seeking the right knowledge. Time. Time is the most valuable asset to humans. It's simply priceless. Time spent can never be retrieved. Things that happen can never be changed. With a simple 9 to 5, you're bound with time to make money. The more time you work, the more you earn. And that's the problem. It's not scalable. You're bound to your human limitations. You might take an extra shift and make more money in expensive time. But here is the problem. Time is money. When we are young, we have time but no money to spend. When we start earning, we still have a little amount of time to spare but not enough money to spend. When we enter our 50s, we earn plenty of money but don't have enough time to spend it, or you might have more responsibilities that hold you back, or you're no longer in the best shape to enjoy it. So by now you realize working all of your life and then resting is just a miserable plan. And that's when you realize the value of time, when it's too late. You could have spent more time with your family and yourself, instead of waiting every weekend to enjoy the weekend and enjoy your hobbies. You could have enjoyed it every day. But I get it. You're trapped by your credit card debt and expensive purchases that you can't just quit and try something that might not work. Again, you're deviating to the fear of poverty. When you start your own business, you're working to improve yourself and you hire people to work on your behalf, to improve your business for you. Working for the man is ultimately your loss. The scalability one's business can offer is not bound by your own capability, which means that at the end, you can reach a point where you created a system that no longer requires your presence and can manage and improve by itself while you just sit and watch the money working hard for you, while you're freeing, of course, your ultimate asset, time. Active and passive income. Active income is a linear type of income. It stays the same and requires the same regular work. You gotta work every day and make the same amount of money monthly. If you don't work, you earn nothing. Most people live their life like this, and there is nothing wrong about it. Active income is divided into two. Employed active. You exchange your time and effort for income. You don't work, you don't get paid. Self-employed. You work for yourself, but can take a 6-week holiday and your business keeps on running. But getting up every morning early and doing the same thing again and again, seeing the same people and dealing with them for at least 40 years in hope of a day retiring and enjoying life. Passive income is a progressive type of income which involves the entrepreneur setting up the business and work model and not necessarily having to monitor it. For instance, buying a property and renting it. For example, you have 32,500 and you have a progressive increase of 3,250 per month every year. I know it might not seem like a lot of money, but look at the trick. That makes riches. In the second year, you would have 6,500 more every month. And in the third year, you would have 9,750 and so on. Which means a total income of 429,000 in the first year and a total income of 507,000 in the second year. In 10 years, that's 2,535,000, and in 20 years, you would have 8,580,000. And if this trend continues, you would have successfully escaped the 9 to 5. Either way you choose to make money, you should choose the way that seems enjoyable to you, but not to run for the greater margins. Chances are you could be a pioneer in your own field and make something incredible, even if you were a regular employee and therefore make more money in return while being happy. How to invest and what are assets and liabilities? What is an asset? The simple definition of an asset is something that puts money in your pocket. Many so-called experts on money and accountants will have a much different definition that involves complex mathematics. But the reality is that unless something is putting money in your pocket, it's not an asset. There are many things that can be considered as assets. This includes things like investments, real estate, business, products like books or arts, or the dividends from stocks and bonds. What are liabilities? Again, the simple definition of a liability is something that takes money out of your pocket. Common liabilities include things like your cars, vacation, clothes, eating out, an unsubscribed subscription, and more. If you look at the budget of a poor person, you would see that it's full of liabilities and has no assets. The interesting thing is that there are some people that mistake assets that they own with liabilities. This is because they don't have a high financial intelligence and they take at face value the advice of so-called financial experts. The difference between an asset and a liability is actually big, and to illustrate this, let's look at something most people view as an asset: their home. If you look at a traditional balance sheet, your house will be listed in the assets column. For many decades, people really think buying a house is the best investment. Houses are not assets. In 2008, the start of the Great Recession, caused by massive defaults on subprime homes, people learned it the hard way. Why was this? It was because they realized the hard truth. There are many things that are considered assets by accountants and financial people are really liabilities hiding behind smoke and mirrors. Let's visit our simple definition of an asset and a liability. Again, the asset is something that puts money in your pocket. A liability is something that takes the money out of your pocket. Your home is a liability because it takes money out of your pocket each month in the form of mortgage, taxes, insurance, and of course, maintenance costs. It does not put money in your pocket only if you were able to sell it at a profit. It becomes an asset. Many people impacted by the Great Recession discovered that their houses were actually liabilities when they were foreclosed, sold on a short sale, or sold at a loss. Conversely, a rental house can be an asset if you do your diligence correctly and are able to collect more rent than you have cost each month. The difference between rent and the expenses in the net operating income and in its cash flow that flows into your pocket each month. Therefore, it's an asset. Cash flow patterns of the middle class and rich. Very simply, the rich don't work for money in the form of income like employees do. Rather, the rich invest their money in assets that put money in their pockets, such as real estate, stocks and bonds, and intellectual property. The middle class and poor work for money and employees and invest their money in liabilities that take money out of their pockets, such as mortgage, consumer loans, and credit card debts. If you want to become rich, I encourage all people to begin investing in their financial education. And their first assignment is to begin studying the difference between assets and liabilities.